Like, I'm fascinated with relationships.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Same.
Especially like, 21st century relationships.
Okay.
Like I'm married with 2 kids, so happily married. And we have some friends that are single.
Okay.
And I'm just like, how are you navigating through these waters right now? Like,
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, with the Tinder and Facebook, like, I mean, back in my day. But no, I mean, when I was single, it was just like most people would be a blank slate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you would have to get to know somebody by talking to them.
Right.
You couldn't really get to know somebody by hopping onto their profile and looking at a history of their thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I feel like it leaves you open to be vulnerable to somebody who is looking to impress you and not really being their genuine self. They want to be the person that you want them to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's just like, how are you navigating these waters, leaving a digital footprint? And you're a young single dude too, right? So
I'm 25.
25. So it's like,
my viewpoint right now is, and the reason why I want to write is that I think I know my true self. So it's almost like I know what I want, and you couldn't phase me. If you act the way that I would want, like, my partner to act, then you better be that entire time. I can tell, like, I think nowadays, because we have all this information, you can tell when someone's authentic. So
you can spot the fakers, the ones that's like trying to impress you because they know that that's what you're interested in.
Because, like, I'm really in depth with the things that I like. Like, like we talk about stoicism, talk about development, talk about fitness, health. If you can do all those at once, I mean, I might as well. Right. You're a good girl.
Right.
But then if I go in depth, like, if I talk to someone like, hey, do you like stoicism, and who do you follow, or who do you like? And then if they, like, don't mention, like, a Marcus Aurelius or meditations or like, something of that knowledge, it's like, sure.
Just grab a drink. Sure. Right. Drinking. Right. But this is like, so to me, like, I've been writing stories, just like I wrote a story about, it's called Love Dealer. Okay. And it's basically about this guy who owns a Hallmark gift shop. He's a co-owner of a Hallmark gift shop. And he is completely disillusioned when it comes to relationships.
Is this a true story?
No, it's not a true story. This is me stretching my imagination. Yeah.
Okay.
And so he's completely disillusioned with love, and the reason why is because he looks at love as being a drug that needs to be handled.
I see.
And every relationship that you have with somebody is something that needs to be handled. Like, it's like a high.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of like, how like when you fall in love with somebody, you get that hit of dopamine, and everything is all blissful.
Right.
It's not until you get used to that high that you come down from it, and at some point in time it just becomes an addiction where you're just like, I just need the fix. I'm not getting that same feeling anymore. I just need the fix.
I always think it's a 3-year thing. I think I've learned, I've had a couple like 3-year relationships, and usually at that 3-year mark, that's when you're kind of like, oh, I've seen you.
I see it.
I've lived with a girlfriend for 3.5 years, and like we kind of like lived with each other after a year.
Yeah.
And everything was good. It was going on vacation, anniversary, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then at 3rd-year mark, it was like, all right, we'll just come home.
It's
like, hey, babe. All right, bye, babe.
Yeah. You're just in the routine kind of thing. So for me, it's just like, when I was writing this story, I was like, keeping in mind with what you say, like, at a certain point in time, some people tend to be in relationships just because it becomes part of the routine.
It's like a sense of belonging.
It's a sense of belonging, and you're putting yourself. You don't want to be alone,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, you're scared to go back out there and being alone.
Yeah.
So, like, with the character that I created, he's refusing to get into a relationship because he looks at every individual person as like a drug.
Yeah.
So it's like, if he gets with a girl who's like really high strung and really out there and really like energetic, loves mountain climbing, loves doing this, to him that's cocaine. That's not for him. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's like, if he's meeting somebody who's real laid back, real chill, that's weed. Not for him. So he labels each individual girl as like its own drug. And so the way the story goes is that he has this best friend who's a female, and she decides that she's going to find him somebody.
Yeah.
And she becomes his love dealer. And so it's all about him going on these different dates and labeling these girls and basically being like, oh my goodness, like this isn't going to work because she is this. This isn't going to work because this is this. And then ultimately the story evolves into how we deal with rejection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How are we going to deal with rejection, and how we need to stop putting labels on people and to accept people for who they are in this digital age where you can get all the information that you want. Just getting past the veneer and just getting to know somebody directly.
We're going to have a lot of